Hey, it's Justin Chamness here with the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. And this week we've been diving into the Outsourced Lease Options 2.0. This is a reveal, guys. I'm showing you all about it, and I'm giving you gold nuggets along the way, hopefully, that you're enjoying and being able to implement some of them into your business. I hope that you're taking away some great things. I know I put a lot of time and pain. I put some pain into this, blood, sweat, and tears into this material that I've been using myself for such a long time. I had someone ask me the other day on a one-on-one coaching call. They were they're not even they are now, but they weren't at the time. They weren't a student at the time, but they are now, and I'm glad to have them on board. They asked me, they said, as far as the man, I get distracted with all the comments and stuff that start popping up. I love it, guys. Can you tell I still get nervous sometimes, even though I do this all the time and I make all kinds of content. But anyway, I get nervous and I lose my train of thought when things pop up and distract me. So I can't even remember what I was talking about. But anyway, he was asking me if this is like really what my business is, what I do, how I do it. And he was like, so like my business would be like your business. And I was like, yeah, like your business will be like my business. So, that's exactly what this is, guys. This is the Outsourced Lease Options 2.0. You're going to be using the same materials that I'm using. And I'm going to show you today the last step here in the day 5. This is day 5. This is the last day of the Outsourced Lease Options 2.0, and where we reveal to you. So I want to talk to you today about putting the homeowner and the tenant buyer together. Okay. Now, to recap, if you come this far, you put your tools together on day number 1, on day number 2, and you got your agreements ready to go, edited and ready to go. On day number 2, you started generating an endless amount of leads. All right. And there's 4 techniques that I teach in this particular session on day 2 this week, where you are generating leads. Okay. An endless amount of leads. Anytime you want leads. Remember, my philosophy is on the day that you as a real estate wholesaler do not have leads, you're just really probably not self-employed that day. You're probably just unemployed. Okay. Because you don't have any possibilities, no prospects. You got to have leads. You got to have leads. Like, I'd love to hear James Brown say that. Man, I wish I could get him like on cameo.com. You guys ever check that out, where you can pay celebrities to be on your on a video for you and give you a shout out and everything? I wonder if I could get James Brown to say, got to have leads. You got to have leads. If you don't have leads, you're dead in the water, guys. All right. So that was day 2. Day 3, we talked about how to pre-screen using a virtual assistant and qualify these phone calls, qualify these sellers or disqualify them right over the phone, get a deal, close the deal right over the phone in a virtual market that you're not living in while you're sitting at home, and they don't have any clue that you're in your underpants. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's reality, y'all. That's reality. Okay. You can be sitting on your couch with Dr. Phil on in the background, just very low, making these calls. Yeah. Yeah. You could pause Dr. Phil when somebody picks up. Absolutely, guys. Hey, there's a great way there's a gold nugget for you. All right. Make it fun, guys. Make it something you don't mind doing. Spend a little time investing. Okay. Entertain yourself a little, get yourself a glass of something sweet to drink, some Kool-Aid. I love to drink Kool-Aid. I love sweet tea. You guys see me doing that all the time. All right. But day 3, talking on the phone. Yesterday, we talked about how not to lose your deal after you advertise it. You get the deal. Now you got to advertise it. But how do you keep from losing it? How do you get boots on the ground to show the property? And how do you keep the seller from stealing your tenant buyer since you're not around? You're doing this virtually. We talked all about that yesterday. Okay. And I shared with you a proprietary method that I use, okay, and that we invented here. I'm kind of proud of it, all right? I'm kind of proud of it because I don't think anybody else is using it like that. So yeah, I'm kind of stoked on it, and I'm stoked to share it with you guys. And that's the appointment confirmation memo. Okay, if you guys have comments or questions or anything, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll talk about those. So also today we're going to jump into the last stage, which is putting the tenant buyer and the homeowner together in a wholesale assignment lease option. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to assign this lease option over to the tenant buyer, and we're going to get paid that non-refundable option fee. Okay, it's not technically a down payment. It's technically a non-refundable option fee. Okay, and then we're going to walk away. Right, we don't need to be there anymore. And how do you marry the seller and the tenant buyer together? How do you marry them together? Okay, well, I'm going to show you right now. We're going to share screens, and I'm going to go over here to the course. You can see you'll find it over at realestatewholesalerclub.com right here, guys. It's right there, the Outsourced Lease Options 2.0. It also comes included with the advanced VIP group coaching, guys. If you want to get in the group, great. It's a great place to be. I do offer pro coaching, blah, blah, so on and so forth. Okay. If you do get the course, guys, this is what it looks like on a laptop. You can scroll down. You can see there's a basic training course you can access from here if you want to get started real simply from the beginning. This is more how to dig in and start building the business. Okay. So there's an introduction video, and we went through these. I just explained that. We're working on the disposition side today. We're working on that. We're going to put the homeowner and the tenant buyer together. Okay, right here. And so let's watch that video right now. Actually, I want to make sure I clicked, before we do that, I want to make sure that I click the correct buttons here and that we're sharing the audio just to make sure everybody hears it, because I know the other day we didn't do that. So let me go ahead and do that now. All right. If you've come this far, I want to congratulate you because you've accomplished a great deal of things so far. Let's recap. Shut up, money. Yeah. You've generated leads, and you've pre-qualified those leads, and or you've called those leads, and you've converted some of those leads into property deals for your business. You've then started marketing that property deal, and you've got a tenant buyer that has come in, showed interest in the property deal, and you've pre-screened them according to the parameters that I gave you. And you've also had a check done on them using mysmartmove.com, a TransUnion company. So you have a full tenant screen done on them and a background check. Now it's time to close the deal. It's time to get the shut up money. This is one of the easiest steps and also one of the most exciting steps in the entire process, because now is when you're going to marry the homeowner and your tenant buyer together. You're going to assign your agreement over to the tenant buyer, and you're going to get paid for that, and you're going to walk away. So congratulations for coming this far. Now, I bet you're wondering how to do the paperwork. Well, I've got a video for that in the corresponding outsourcing section of this module. So check it out. I'll go through the documents line for line and show you exactly how to fill them out, who fills out what, and all that stuff. So don't worry about that. It's all taken care of. But one thing I want to point out is that you need to do these things in a specific order. So it's very important that, first of all, you have your agreements filled out and you present the information, which is the tenant application and your background screen and tenant screen, to the homeowner, and allow them to approve this tenant buyer. If that's the agreement that you've made with the homeowner, that they are in the driver's seat, they're the boss, they can approve or disapprove, then you'll want to put those things together: the application, the tenant application, and also the background screen, the tenant screen from mysmartmove.com. Put them together in an email and send them to the homeowner, and then call the homeowner and confirm with them they receive the documents, have a discussion about the tenant buyer, and get a yes. If you need the homeowner's approval in this step, now is the time to get it. And if the homeowner has given the approval, or if you did not require the homeowner's approval, then it's time to get started with the tenant buyer side of the paperwork here. Have the documents uploaded into your email signature program, .loop or DocuSign or HelloSign, and then send them to the tenant buyer for signatures first. It's very important that you do this, because along with their signatures, you're also going to request the payment of the non-refundable option fee, which is your paycheck. That's your shut up money. So make sure you have the tenant buyer fill out the paperwork first, sign it, and send the money. Once those things are accomplished, then you can send to the seller for signatures. Okay, have the seller sign it then, and then you can sign it and finalize the entire deal, and make sure at this point that they know how to contact one another and that they know how to exchange keys and get the deal done. And any monies that the tenant buyer is paying directly to the homeowner, that's all taken care of at the same time. So remember, right now is when you're closing things up. So make sure all monies go where they're supposed to go, and make sure all signatures get signed on all documents that are required. We do have all the documents right here in this module, and we also have an explanation video. So go check that out. It will help you. On each document, it says the title of the document, and right underneath it in small print, it will say who is supposed to be involved in filling out this particular agreement. Does it require the tenant buyer? Does it require you? Does it require the homeowner? Or is it some combination of those three, or maybe all three? So anyway, go check that stuff out. Dive in. This is the funnest part. This is where you get your money. So do things right, do them in the right order, and do them now. Shut up, money. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Here we are, guys. Sorry. Technology, man. I'm still not used to this StreamYard, but I am back now. So you got me. That was the module video there from the course, Lease Options 2.0. That's the outsourced lease options. That's the video on how to put the homeowner and the tenant buyer together. I do want to remind you, okay, I did say in there that it's very important to have the tenant buyer sign those agreements first. We're going to take a look at those agreements again. Now, the agreements and stuff are actually in the free basic training, which is free over at the website. So you can go get these agreements right now, absolutely free, in the basic training, okay, for lease options at realestatewholesalersclub.com right there. That's my gift to you for watching, for staying in tuned with me here through all my technological goof ups. Okay. But anyway, yes, get them for free. We're about to show these though and talk about them, but it's important to have the tenant buyer sign first. Okay. And it's also because you want to know you have this tenant buyer locked in, right? You want to send out your invoice to them on PayPal or however you're getting paid. Okay. And then you want to, once they have completed those transactions, you can then have your seller sign. And now you know that you have a deal. Okay. So don't spend that money until the seller signs and you sign. They get the first month's rent paid to the homeowner and they exchange keys. Now it's safe to spend that money. Okay. Because everything has fully happened. All right. Now that's my word of advice. Okay. from experience. Okay. That's how it works, guys, in that order. Okay. That's the point I'm trying to stress here, in that order. Okay. Don't get it out of order. What's going on, Mr. Thinker? Good to see you. I love that you call me Big Daddy J. I think it's catchy. I like it. Yeah, I'm glad you're watching live, man. Thanks. Thanks for watching live. I really appreciate it, guys. All right. So I want to share the screen with you and show you the documents that are involved in the module here. Okay. Put homeowner and tenant buyer together. Here we are back on the course. This is the module I'm in. If I click this button, outsource this step, okay, it will bring me to a Google Drive folder, just like it has every other day this week, right? Okay. And then Inside there, you'll find 3 separate items. One is a video of explaining lease option agreements and wholesale lease options. And then the other 2 are a closing packet. Okay, so that's all of your agreements, which these are free over there in the basic training as well. And that video is too. Okay, this video right here, it's absolutely free over there in the basic training on the website, and this all agreement packages as well. Okay, so you can go get those right now if you want. And the amendment to cancel is also in there. Okay, now this amendment to cancel, I'm not anticipating you using it a lot, but what I am anticipating is that at some time in your career, there will be a homeowner that will want to cancel your agreement midstream, and you'll want to have an amendment to cancel. Okay, so that's what this is. It's a little 1-page deal where they will cancel the deal, and you'll cancel it, and everybody will walk away without any damage. Okay, without hurt. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to show you here the video, and again, I want to make sure that I did the right thing here. Let's see. I want to make sure I did the right thing as far as the StreamYard goes, and share the screen with the audio. So let's do it. I have put this video together and corrected all the information that may have been wrong that was put out before. And here it is, plain and simple. Watch as I go through all of the documents that we provide to you in the wholesaling lease options training modules. I'll go through each document and show you exactly what they are, what you're supposed to do with them, and how to fill them out. All right, let's jump right in. But I'm going to go to realestatewholesalersclub.com, which is the club's website here. And you can see this. I'm going to skip forward, guys. We're going to get right into it. Okay. Sorry. That was, I was showing you where to find these documents, but I already told you. Trying to figure out the paperwork on the lease option side of the deals. Okay. I understand. It can seem daunting at first. I have put this video together and corrected all the information that may have been wrong that was put out before. And here it is, plain and simple. Watch as I go through all of the documents that we provide to you in the wholesaling lease options training modules. I'll go through each document and show you exactly what they are, what you're supposed to do with them, and how to fill them out. All right, let's jump right in. But I'm going to go to realestatewholesalersclub.com, which is the club's website here. And you can see this is what it looks like when you load up. Now, it's changed quite a bit in the last year. I mean, I've really tried to evolve a little bit, so it's caused us to have to change the website. But you can see right here, just underneath the video at the top, it says free training courses. Okay. There's also YouTube there if you want to find us. If you want to find us on Facebook, you can find us. Let's see. I don't know why it's playing it all over again. Okay, here we go. You'll notice there are several documents here. Now, guys, I get this problem from people pretty often, and that is they try to go in here and click on, like I'll click on the first one, for example, which is seller call notes. They try to click on this and then edit it here in the folder. You can't edit my document, guys. You'll be changing it for everybody in the entire world. All right, so I need you to download. I'll let you do that, by the way, but it'll confuse you for a minute. So what you'll do is you'll come in here and you'll download these to your computer, and then you can change them to be whatever you want them to be. You can edit them from your computer. Okay. I hope that makes a lot of sense. All right. So the first one was seller call notes. That's an aid to help you make calls. The second one is the offer packet for making offers on lease purchase homes. And you can see there's only about 7 different sizes of fonts and different types, and certain stuff is black and boldened, and other stuff isn't, and there's no pictures, and it doesn't have your name or phone number on it. You have to download this and edit it. Okay. You put your phone number and your name. Okay. See, it says your name, and picture and logo here. Add contact info here. All right. Make it yours. Clean it up. Okay. All right. Clean it up and make it yours. And why did I put up such a crappy looking document? Oh, well, you could have just edited a document, made it real nice and gave it to us. Well, I totally could have. But then I run the risk of people going in there and using it just verbatim exactly what it is every time. And everybody across the country is using the same exact thing. So I made it so hideous that you need to go in there and edit it and clean it up and make it look like you. Don't make it look like me, look like you. Okay. The next one in this folder is the pre-qualify lead interview sheet. Okay. This is if you are on the phone calling homeowners, and this is also a help for making that call so that you can, when you're looking for deals, so that you can keep notes.
All this stuff is free over there in the basic training,
and you won't lose information.
This is that folder. So these are the things that are a free gift to you today if you want to go over there and get them.
Seller lease option agreement memo. Again, you'll need to edit this, download it and edit this. This is the document we use to close sellers, homeowners on the front side, the very beginning agreement that we use when we are closing them, getting permission to do a wholesale lease option deal. All right. Now look at the top. It says important disclosure. This is as is, blah, blah, while the information contained herein, blah, blah. I'm not an attorney. Okay. All right. Do your own due diligence, but this is pretty standard boilerplate stuff. All right. Delete this important disclosure before sending it to a homeowner. All right. That's my message from me to you. Now, take the lease option agreement, put it back down here on the second page. I do not know why Google shifts my things around and reformats them when I put them on Drive, but it's nuts. And that is why you see these documents look like crap. But that works out good because you need to edit them anyway. It's just more incentive to now. Thank you, Google. Okay. On the second page here, drop lease option agreement memo, and you can see I'm gonna move in here a little bit. All right. Now maybe everybody can see that a little bit better. I hope so. Okay. So it says here memo, and it's between the property owner and you. Okay. You're going to want to delete this line as well. All right. Property owner and you. That's just information for you to help you know who fills this agreement out. Okay. Now you see it says seller blank. This is where the seller's name. All right. We'll allow buyer blank. This is where the buyer's name, your name, will go, or your company name. To lease option the property at, this is where the property address goes. Okay. Pretty simple, right? It's pretty obvious. sorry to be talking so like I'm teaching a kindergarten class or something. Okay, purchase price to be. This is the purchase price, guys. All right, when you're talking to the homeowner and you get the purchase price, put it right here on this line. The next line, term of lease option to be, that's 24 to 36 months. Typically, whatever the term was that you said or you pitched or you agreed to or he said was cool, okay, put that there. The monthly lease payment to be, now this is what the monthly rent will be. Whatever you guys agreed to with the homeowner, use that number right here. The term of the lease option to begin as soon as the buyer acquires a lease option tenant for the property the day that tenant buyer moves in. Okay, you see how this agreement is non-binding for you until the day that tenant buyer moves in, which is also the day that this agreement was assigned over to that tenant buyer in a wholesale lease option, which means you were really on the hook for all of about 5 seconds. All right.
That line's gold right there.
It's beautiful, man.
It is.
Thanks for sharing that and saying that. I totally agree with you. And it's about as honest and as you can possibly get. All right. The next line says this lease option agreement will be assigned by buyer to a new lease option tenant. All right. So if you didn't understand, Mr. Seller, in the previous line, let me say it even more clearly yet again for you. We are not going to live here. We are going to put someone in this property. All right. Now the next line, seller has the right to approve or reject new lease option tenant. Okay. Now this allows you to say to the homeowner, hey, listen, I'm gonna find the guy or gal, and then you're gonna have the ability to give them a look over and make sure they're okay with you too. Okay. That we're not gonna sucker anybody here. I'm not gonna move Charles Manson into your house, okay, without you knowing. Seller may use the buyer's lease. Okay. Seller may cancel this agreement memo at any time before tenant buyer occupies property. All right. If you don't like that line, you want to take it out, fine, do it. All right. But this is a get out of jail free card for the seller. This will help you get deals easier. Okay. And what's the chances that they're going to do the deal before you? Not likely, because they've already not done the deal already for some time, most likely. All right. The next line, buyer's intention is to find a lease option tenant and assign this lease option agreement memo to that. Oh, here we go. How about if I just tell you one more time, Mr. Homeowner? This is exactly what my plan is. This is the third time in 5 sentences that I'm saying it. Buyer's intention is to find a lease option tenant and assign this lease option agreement memo to that lease option tenant for a fee. Oh, yeah. Now I'm telling you, I'm going to get paid. Lease option tenant will then pay seller the monthly lease amount until they exercise their option or until the end of the option term. Yep. Pretty plain and simple. Seller agrees to allow buyer. If your seller is not willing to cooperate with you on the marketing aspect of this deal, walk away. That's my advice. If they are not cooperative with the marketing agreement in the sense that they're allowing you to put a sign in the yard, advertise the property, if they're not willing to do that, they're not too motivated, and you're going to have a difficult time selling a property you can't put out there to the world in the proper way through the means and channels that it needs to be done. Okay. Perhaps the homeowner is uneducated in those methods and they don't know how to do it. Maybe you're learning how to do it. But if something's going to happen to this property and it's going to be sold or rented to sell, okay, you're going to have to do some marketing. So if they're uncooperative, you got to ask yourself, hey, do I want to fight the battle? Probably not. Now, important disclosure, buyer is the principal in this transaction and is not a licensed real estate agent. Okay, I'm not. If you are, obviously you'll need to change this a little bit. Okay, so you won't need to be lying to people. Change it up, edit it, and then you can see there's a place down here for the seller, their printed name and signature, and then and then there's a place for your signature as the buyer. All right, so that's that agreement there. That's what that is. You can see it's not too horrible bad. It's basically a boilerplate type agreement. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go back out here to Real Estate Wholesalers Club. The modules that we were at we just completed going through step 1 materials. All right, I'm going to go through step 2 materials, and it shouldn't take very long because it's the same exact memo that we just looked at. Same exact memo we just looked at. We just went through it. I have it in there twice, so it'll help people find it. All right, and now, step 3 materials. This is the final closing packet materials. There's several things in here that are good tools for you, good aids for you. And then there's also a screening a tenant buyer. All right. And I'm going to go through both of these. I'm not going to belabor it. I'm not going to read every sentence because these documents are rather lengthy. Whoa. Slow your roll. If they're wanting to submit one of those, edit it on your editing software, Word or whatever you're using. Okay, so I'm going to click the lease option packet. Now you can see here, I'm going to zoom in again. And you can see the important disclaimer is there yet again. Okay. Want to delete this important disclaimer. It's just me letting you know I'm not really an attorney here. These are just example documents. Now I do use them. Okay. But I'm not guaranteeing that you can use them. I'm just saying that I do. All right. Excuse me. All right, so you can see you'll want to delete the important disclaimer. Now, there's a little bit of a table of contents here. Excuse me. It says right here at the top, important documents needed for a lease option deal are. Now, this is a lesson all in itself. There's 5 documents here, all in this packet. Why didn't I break them up and put them down in the Google Drive folder individually? Well, because you need to go through these documents, and many of them you're going to do and have filled out and signed all at the same time. Okay, so you're not gonna I didn't want to leave you a whole bunch of multiple choice documents to try to find the right ones. This is what I call the lease options closing packet. All right, this is how you close your tenant buyer and your seller together. All right. Number one, there is a lease option agreement memo. Boy, doesn't that sound familiar? Yep, it should. That's the same memo that you already have filled out with the homeowner. We just went through it. Okay. That's in this packet, but it's only because you could basically just print off this packet right here and have all the documents you need to do the entire deal. Okay. But if you've grabbed the lease option agreement memo from the preceding modules, then you won't need it here again. Okay. You'll already have it filled out there. All right. Number 2, a tenant buyer application. Number 3, the lease agreement. Okay. There is a lease agreement. How simple is that, guys? It's not like, I have this special important document that was drafted by attorneys in Washington, D.C. And it's so special and elite that, no, it's a freaking rental agreement. Like, how many of us have ever filled out one of these? All of us? All of us probably have rented something before. I mean, where you been living, right? Either you own it or you rented it or you're something. I mean, or maybe you live with your mom and dad and you're in the basement. I don't know. But, it's just a lease agreement. Okay. Now, here's the beauty of it. Because it's just a lease agreement, you could take this lease agreement out and throw it away. You don't have to use this one. If there's one that's better for your area, just take that lease agreement and use it in the place of this one. And then you have a more customized packet for yourself. Okay. So that's what I recommend. It's just a lease agreement. So we're not going to go heavily into what a lease agreement is and how it's, put together and the wordings and so on and so forth. It's just a lease agreement. You can go online anywhere on Google and just type it in lease agreement and you can find them. They're out there for free. Okay. So, but you could probably do yourself one better and call a property management company in your town, or maybe you could call a title company and say, hey, is there a kind of a standard lease agreement for the area here? And would you be willing to share it with me? Email it to me. And they will, usually for nothing, for free. All right, document number 4 in this packet is the option to purchase agreement. Okay, this is the option part of the lease option. Okay, the lease is just a lease, but then there's also an option to purchase agreement. Now, here's the best part. The option to purchase agreement is just an option to purchase agreement. It's real simple. It's a 1-pager. The option to purchase agreement is one of the most simple agreements in real estate. It's simple. It's a permission slip. Okay. So you can find tons of examples of option to purchase agreements. Some try to look all wordy and professional and legal, and some are written on a damn napkin, and they all work. Okay. Let me interject that. That's the beauty of real estate agreements, guys. Real estate agreements are about the most easy to work with of all the in all the world, I guess, of all the other agreements. I would guess, as an ignorant outsider of the bar association. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an ignorant outsider. But they are so easy to work with. And the reason why is because everything in real estate is negotiable. Everything, you name it, it's negotiable. So these documents have to be so flexible that they can be modified. All right. And they are. And that's why most real estate documents are so desperately simple, because they're meant to be modified by you, because everything is negotiable and you may be changing or needing to change this document in a number of ways. Please feel free. Okay. Change the documents, modify them, make them yours. Okay. There's a lease agreement, and then there's an option to purchase agreement. Very, very simple. Then there's an assignment agreement. Okay. I also call this an addendum. All right. Now let's go through these. Here's a tenant application. You've seen something like this. Chances are you've already filled something out like this before in your life. So here you have your name. You're going to get the social security number. You're going to get the address. You're going to get the phone. You're going to get the previous addresses for the last 2 years. You're going to get gross annual income. You're going to get monthly obligations, not including rent. What are they paying in expenses? You're going to have them sign it off. Okay, then you're going to edit this document. You're going to drop the lease option agreement memo off the bottom of that page. Again, thank you, Google. I don't know why you do that to me, but you do. All right. Now that document there is the lease option agreement memo. We've already filled that out in the other module, but it's here just in case you wanted to grab a full packet and have every document you need. All right. Now this is the first right of refusal. This is the option to purchase agreement. All right. It's titled first right of purchase. It is an exclusive right to purchase this property for a set term of time. All right. It's easy to fill out. This is actually between the property owner and you. All right. The initial flex option agreement memo is really just a permission slip to get you going. This is more of a solid option agreement, and you are going to assign this over later in the addendum to your tenant buyer. Okay. Now you'll fill this out by putting the owner's name here at the top, of course, and then they are also known as the grantor. Okay. And they are granting your company, or you hereinafter called the grantee, a first right of purchase as follows. All right. The property address, the term. Now, what term do you put? Well, is it 24 to 36, or is it 36, or is it 18, or is it 12? You'll want to put that in the blank right here at the ending sentence, at the last of the last sentence of paragraph 2 here, where I put the blue box. Okay, the price. This is the tiers. Okay, if you are into doing tiers, I'm not big into doing tiers. All right, but if you want to have a tier of, for the purchase price, this is where you put it in at. Okay, you'll put it right here in this section. You can see the first 12 months, and then 13 through 24, and then 25 through 36, or what have you. Okay. Consideration. In exchange for this right, the grantee has paid grantor blank. Okay. Now, what you're going to do here is typically, all right, $10. All right. That's what I would do. Now, this is going to give you the right to purchase, which you're going to later assign over to your tenant buyer. Okay. And this is basically a down payment, which you're going to put there. Now, number 5, which is $10. All right. At time of exercise of first right, blah, blah, a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. Okay. Taxes, a warning about taxes, the seller's right to mortgage real estate. Okay. It's going to talk about all this stuff. You can take a look at everything and read it through. It's a lot of legal stuff. It's not real interesting, but it needs to be there. Now look at number 9, rights of assignment. This agreement may not be assigned by grantee without written permission by grantor. Okay. Now we are going to get the written permission, okay, by the grantor. We're going to get the seller's written permission when we assign this document over. All right. Now that's going to make it even more solid. Now you can see down here, there is a right to cancel by the grantee. All right. you could cancel this if you needed to. I don't know why that's in there, but it is. All right. Now, tenant buyer and the owner name. You're going to sign that right there, and you are the tenant buyer. Okay. Statement of understanding. It's funny. I use statement of understanding because it sounds better than cover your ass. Statement of understanding. All right. Is anybody alive out there? Is anybody watching us? Is anybody paying attention, or did I talk everybody's ass?
Everybody's paying attention, good buddy.
This
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm paying attention, but I'm in church, so.
Hey, I appreciate you saying that, and thank you, David Flanders, for chiming in here and complimenting me, man. And he's an attorney. Yeah. Hey, that's awesome, dude. Gosh, man, you never know who's watching, you know? Okay. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Good to see you. All right. Hey, David said, "Yup." That's cool. Hey, thanks for watching, brother. I appreciate it, man. I'm not trying to lead anyone astray here, and it's a bit of a difficult walk if you're not an attorney. So, thank you for the compliments. All right, statement of understanding. That's kind of a cover your ass. All right, and statement of understanding sounds better than cover your ass. But see, it says concerning the property located at property address blank. This is for the tenant buyer. Okay, we, the tenant buyer name, understand that we do not own the property and that it is owned by the homeowner. Okay, we understand that I are leasing the property from the owner, and that if I default on the lease payment, that subject to whatever interest the law may determine me or us to have at law, we will be evicted. Right? We're going to get evicted. If we don't do what we said, we're going to get kicked out. That's what I tell them. I tell them like that in classic Sling Blade style too, before they move in. I reckon if you don't pay them, I reckon if you don't, if that rent ain't in by the 3rd, I reckon you'll be moving out real shortly. Okay, now this is written black and white, so they're going to definitely be understanding it and putting their John Hancock on it. Now the next line. I understand that in the unlikely event that a dispute occurs or a cause of action in law or equity arises out of the operation, construction, interpretation, or enforcement of this agreement between owner and or tenant, the losing party shall bear the cost of the attorney's fees and blah, blah. Okay, just standard boilerplate stuff. Hey, if you screw around on us and we end up having to evict you, you're going to not only pay for all that mess, but you're going to pay for our legal problems too. Okay. Man, you just went over my head with that statement, David. I don't even know. We're going to have to get you on as a guest, man. We should have had you on today, man, just to monitor us and add your expertise. You ought to maybe next week pop on, because I'm going to have to do another set of contracts next week. And you'd be great to be on here. You have to think about it. Let me know. Holler at me this week if you're interested in that, David. All right. It's the next line says, we understand that if attorneys find it necessary to resort to litigation in order to collect the attorney's fees and expenses owed pursuant to this agreement, the client shall be liable for reasonable attorney's fees. Problems. Just pay the bill, guys. Just pay the bill. And then they sign it. Okay. That's a cover your butt letter. All right. Yeah, man, I'd love to see you. Thank you, David. All right. Now, drop the residency agreement back down on the next page where it belongs. All right. Now, you can see the residency agreement That is the lease agreement. Okay. It's the lease agreement. So they're going to fill out the lease agreement. Now, I'm not going to go through a lease agreement because you guys already kind of know what a lease agreement is like. But look, monthly payment. Look, here is the tier system again, guys. If you're wanting to do the tier system, let me say it again. I don't like the tier system. Personally, I like my deals straight, even, simple, keep it simple, stupid kind of stuff. Okay. But if you like the tier system, and there's nothing wrong with it, okay, then here's the tier system. You see it during the first 12 months, blank, then during the 13th through 24th, and blank, and then from 25 through month, okay, blank. All right. Now, all payments are due on the first of each month. Checks are to be made payable to the owner's name in the amount of mailing address for the owner here. But I recommend nowadays to collect your money electronically like every other business. But I'll tell the owner that. But remember, this is the owner's responsibility. They're probably not even equipped for that. So they'll have to put their mailing address down so the tenant buyer can mail them the payment each month. All right, the next, deposit. There are no refundable monies or deposits. They are going to sign this again and agree to this. I'm not getting my money back. No, you're not. No, you're getting an option to purchase instead of, okay. Now, occupant names, on and on, pets, joint responsibility, indemnity, security devices, okay, on and on and on, and repairs. Now, even if you use a rental agreement that's local to your area, your jurisdiction, what have you, you're still going to want to add a few of these things that make this one special. Or you're going to want to modify it a little bit. You see, it says right here, repairs, owner pays how much? Now, this is also kind of how I'm going to go through it with the tenant buyer. You notice repairs, owner pays, how much is that, Mr. Tenant Buyer? What's it say right there? 0. Owner pays 0. That's right. Tenant buyer is taking property and as is condition is responsible for all repairs, including mowing the lawn, fixing the roof, plumbing, electrical, structural, termite. You may have to modify this and make it $500 per incident, $250 per incident. Owner is responsible for everything beyond the first $250 per incident. Oh, I've done that many times. Okay, so you might have to modify this little section here. Access to premises, standard boilerplate. Okay, vehicles, standard boilerplate, right? We don't want vehicles on blocks up in the front yard. Okay, Jethro? Default and right of reinstatement, inspection, as is condition, telephone. Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, it says we always have to have a phone number for them. That's what that is. Insurance. Okay, repairs and maintenance and expenditures, full responsibility of tenant buyer, though no amount of such expenditures shall be refundable or credited to the tenant buyer. Oh, breach. Man, what a crazy word. Malicious possession. God, that sounds like a crazy metal band, doesn't it? I'm going to a concert tonight. Who you seeing, man? I'm seeing malicious possession. All right. Personal property. Possession. We got lots of evil sounding shit going on in this document. All right. Right to sublease. Special provisions, radons. I think this document has thought of everything. I mean, we've thought of everything from the toilet breaking to somebody getting possessed, evidently. Okay. On and on. All right. It is a rental agreement. And you guys know, if you've ever gone to an apartment complex and filled out a rental agreement, it is just like this, man. It goes on for pages and pages and pages. And then you move in and you have no idea what all that crap was that you just signed, but you will get a copy. All right, the tenant buyer and the signs down here. And guess who else signs
of course, the owner is going to sign. This is the addendum to the first right of purchase. This is the assignment agreement. Okay, earlier you filled out the first right of purchase, which is the option to purchase agreement. That is a solid agreement between you and the homeowner to option this property for a set term. Now here you are going to assign that over to your tenant buyer with the homeowner's permission, written permission. It says here under the title, property owner and your company and the tenant buyer will all participate in signing this addendum or assignment agreement. Excuse me. It's also a little bit of a cover your ass letter too. So anyway, this agreement is an addendum. This is how you get paid, by the way. This is the sheet of paper that gets you paid. This agreement is an addendum to the first right of purchase between your company or you, and you put that in the blank. You're also known as the assignor buyer, okay? And the homeowner on the contract dated blank. Okay, so in other words, the first right of purchase agreement that you just filled out between you and the homeowner, you're going to put your name and the homeowner's name here, just like it is on that agreement, and you're going to put the date of that agreement right here. It was probably the same day. Concerning the property located at, okay, and then put the address of the property here. Blank dollars is being paid to your company. Okay, that's where you put your name or your company name. You're also known as the assignor buyer by a new buyer. Okay, now you put the name of your tenant buyer here as the assignee buyer as an assignment fee for this contract. Okay, assignor buyer, assignee buyer, and seller understand that these monies paid to assignor buyer also serve as an assignee buyer's consideration in this contract and will apply to the purchase price as stated in the first right of purchase in paragraph 4. Okay, plain and simple. All three parties are on the same page. Okay, and then it continues on to say these monies are not refundable under any circumstance. Okay, and then there's a place for you to sign it, the assignor buyer. There's a place for your assignee buyer, your tenant buyer, to sign it, and then there's a place for the homeowner to sign it. Then there's a place for you to edit so that you can place instructions for how the monies should be paid. Okay, I hope that really helped. I hope you got something out of this. You feel more confident now about the contracts, because really it's not that complicated. They're very simple. They're very editable. Okay, they're very modifiable. I don't know if that's a word, but I hope it is. You can change these, modify them, make them what you need them to be.
Okay, guys, I'm back. I hope that was enlightening to you. Some of you out there are probably thinking, well, how do we go ahead and do it that way and the homeowner see what you're being paid and everything? Okay, well, as a coach, I'm going to let you know that this is the perfect scenario, what the documents are written for. So as I mentioned several times through there, you'll need to edit these. Now, in a lot of cases, you may want to remove out of the first right of purchase, you might want to remove the part out of there that says that the homeowner has to approve, okay, with signature. He has to have written consent to you assigning this, okay? You might want to remove that, and then you might want to remove the homeowner off of that addendum as well, okay? That way they don't have to participate. But in that situation, then you would be in a scenario with a homeowner where you did not require their approval to assign this deal over to the tenant buyer, okay? So you may have some situations in your career like that, and that those are great too, okay? But it's nice when everything is perfect and everyone knows what's happening and everyone's okay with it. And a motivated seller will be okay with you making money. Remember, when you introduced yourself on the phone back on day 3, you said, "Hi, my name is blank. I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking for my next investment property." Okay. You let them know in the conversation back on day 3, we talked about how you're going to make money in the deal, but you want this to be a solution for them as well. So does that seem reasonable, Mr. Homeowner, or is that something we can talk about, or maybe not? Okay, so those are some gold nuggets for you. I hope that they are. I know it's been kind of a lengthy thing, and everybody's scared of paperwork. But here's the thing. Lease options is an easy concept to understand, but the paperwork is complicated seeming. It seems to be complicated, and it's not real complicated, guys. It's more just understanding it. So that's why I put down under the title on each document who's supposed to be filling this out, who's signing here, who's involved here on this document. That way okay, all that stuff is for free over at the website. I'm going to say it again, okay, at realestatewholesalerclub.com. Also, guys, I do have a little promotion going on this week, and that is get 15% off on the VIP group coaching, which is already, it's like ridiculously inexpensive, guys. I think it's $240 or something, and then $47 a month, and then you can get 15% off that. So I don't know, it's ridiculously cheap, guys. Go check it out if it's interesting to you. If not, that's cool too, guys. I appreciate you watching. The documents, though, that's your ultimate goal. Okay, you want to get these filled out. So don't be afraid of jumping into the documents and starting to understand them. Okay, print them out, put them on paper, and then spend some time reading through them until you understand how these things come together. Okay, that is so important, because remember, these are your ultimate goal, right? Getting these documents filled out is your goal. So wouldn't you want to be the master of those documents and understand those documents and how you might edit those or change those for repairs, or in the repairs section, or in the assignment section where they have to approve or disapprove? Get familiar with them. Okay. And remember, you can edit these. You don't have to be an attorney to edit these documents. Okay. Hey, thanks, Jay. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it a lot. Deborah Murray, hey, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, man? I bet that's sincere. Hey, what's happening, dude? Yep, I bet that's him. He talks like that. All right, guys. Yep. Hey, thank you, Harold. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Don't be afraid of the documents, guys. Dive into them. Okay. It's the ultimate goal is to get these things filled out and to get paid. So get in there and learn. You don't have to be an attorney to edit these. Okay. Remember, everything in real estate is negotiable. Everything is modifiable, and you don't have to be an attorney. You could even literally do this probably on a bar napkin. If you had signatures from everybody, it would probably be enforceable. That's really how it really is, guys. It's almost like the Wild West. Okay. All right. I'm not encouraging you to go out there and do damage to yourself or act like a lawyer. What I'm saying is don't be afraid to edit these documents a little bit to make them fit your situation. Okay. All right. That's just my advice. And that's been what I've had to do in my career too. You can't run to an attorney every time you need something changed on a lease agreement. Okay. Or on an easy option to purchase agreement. You can't run to an attorney and pay him $500 every time. Okay. Can't do it. Can't afford it. It's crazy. Don't even want to. Some people are like, well, I got that thing where you subscribe and you get like for $97 a month or whatever, you get like an attorney that'll review your documents. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You do that and spend all that time and have them try to upsell you to something else or whatever. I don't know how all that works, but man, I've had it before. You don't even need all that for this. To change a sentence here, to delete a thing, to modify a phrase or add a clause, hey, it's what people do. All right. So don't be afraid of it. Get over your fear of these things and dive in, guys. And remember, I love you. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the live Shut Up Money show. It's a live Q&A with me. Come join me on Zoom, zoomjustin.com. That's what it is. And I'll answer your questions. We also have a guest tomorrow, a fella that's got 3 deals this week. He's from Queens, New York. 3 deals this month. Sorry. But the month is still pretty, we're not that deep into it. We're about halfway now. But this month he's already got 3 deals. So he's going to be on and we're going to just feed off his excitement, man. We're going to feed off his enthusiasm and his charisma. All right. We'll talk soon. Love you guys. Bye-bye.